record computer. Okay. Welcome. I'm Coach Allison, head baseball coach, Blue Valley West. We have some new parents, some new faces to the program, especially all of our freshmen. So a lot of this will be new to you, maybe a bit overwhelming. So if you have questions at the end of the presentation, you'll see that we'll have the email address listed. You can email me all those questions and we'll get back to you super fast so that you can get all the details that you need. With that said, our agenda for tonight. First, we'll talk about the eligibility requirements. We'll go through that real quick. We'll talk about the winter workout schedule. We'll talk about the spring tryout schedules, just so you know exactly what that first week will look like. A little bit about community service, our contact info, and then we'll talk to you about contact communication and questions via email. Okay, jumping right into it. First and foremost, eligibility, which is the school side of things, and basically making sure that everything is lined up where it needs to be. One, paperwork. There's a packet that is available online now via the school website. I'll show you that here in just a second. You'll have to get all that filled out online, sent into the school, or you can print it off and have it completed, and you can bring it in the old school way. Either way, make sure you fill everything out, get everything signed. Otherwise, it becomes a pain for you and for your athlete. I will tell you that the online process, once you learn how to do it, is actually easier for you and for the school. But if you're a first-time user of it, it is kind of a pain trying to figure it out, just like all of the technology. So with that said, you have to have a physical, emergency medical. Those are the two major main pieces that you'll have to get completed. All fall athletes and winter athletes that participate in activity at the school, you're good to go. So once you've turned it in for one sport this school year, you're good to go for spring sports. Enrollment. So for the spring semester, students have to be enrolled in at least 5 classes at Blue Valley West, or set up through the district via online classes and have that approved by the district office. So make sure your students have at least 5 classes. I know that's usually not a problem for our freshmen, sophomores, and juniors, but for our seniors, sometimes they've got all their credits, and in the spring of their senior year, we just got to make sure that they have 5 classes minimum that they're signed up for. And then they have to be eligible academically, meet those requirements. They have to pass at least 5 classes from the first semester, which we're currently in. So passing those 5 classes via CASHA isn't very difficult, but it is still a standard. They have to get a D in at least 5 of those classes or higher. So that's the eligibility as far as academics go. Okay, moving forward. Right now, we just finished up our fall sports. Football went a little bit deeper than some of the other sports, and that's a good thing. Playoffs were fun. Kept me busy for sure. Great season. 20th year doing it, wore me out completely. So I can tell I'm getting a little bit old. Feel like I've been nonstop since last spring, which is a good thing. So with that said, some coaching staffs are different. I will tell you that I am extremely supportive of our kids doing as many sports as possible at our school. We've had several multi-sport kids play for us in my past 4 years. Football guys, soccer guys, cross country, basketball, wrestling, swimming. The more the merrier. The more ways our kids learn to compete, the better. Winter sports just kicked off this past Monday. Boys basketball, wrestling, swimming, and I think we might have a boys bowling team. I'm not 100% sure, but I didn't want to leave them out just in case we do. So, that's the number one priority. If they're playing a winter sport, that takes precedent. They need to focus 100% on those sports, get after it. And then if they have any questions about that, they can come see me, but we don't want them doing workouts with us if they're participating in a winter sport. But we do encourage them to participate in those winter sports. Okay, winter workout expectations. The bottom line is we need them to get bigger, faster, and stronger in the off season. With that being said, there's several ways they can go about doing that. First and foremost, Right now we have 96 players that have signed up to try out this year. Out of those 96, 80 of them are already in our strength and conditioning classes. So we got a leg up there. So they're working out at least 3 days a week in school. They're getting their strength training done there. So we're in good shape. We also need to make sure that they're doing their speed and agility, getting faster and quicker, working on their plyometrics. There's other ways they can do that. But ultimately, here's our options. One, strength and conditioning at Blue Valley West. We have the classes. Our class numbers are as high as they've ever been. We need them to register. If they're not in a class at school, we need them to find an alternate route for that to happen. So whether it's Top Speed, PSP3, the KU Med workout program, or some other type of professional training organization, all those, will work. We have several of our kids that have participated in those. They work as well. We also have several of our baseball academies that run their own strength training, speed and agility, and plyometric sessions. Obviously, those will suffice as well. Those coaches and those professionals know what they're doing, so they'll work as well. And then we'll have our own after school workouts that I'll talk to you about here in just a second, that the students will be encouraged to participate in, and obviously be able to work out in. So bottom line is we need them to be training in the off season, and how they go about doing that is completely up to you and them. But as you know, we're running an extremely competitive program, and we need to make sure that our kids are in top shape, as they'll not only be competing with the other teams in the area, but they're competing with the players that they're trying out against in our program. So with that said, the sessions that we'll be offering this year. Okay, the past 4 years we've used PSP3. There's been a cost involved. Nate and Derek have done a great job with that. But with that said, this year we'll be doing it ourselves. I feel comfortable, Coach Ashton, Coach Lahaski, Coach McElroy, Coach Harrison, we all feel comfortable that we've learned enough. We know from watching those guys, from our experience and all the different things that we've done, we feel comfortable that we can offer a competitive strength, speed, agility, plyometric workout that'll get our kids prepared, and or at least get them working together so that they're ready to go when it comes February 26th. So with that said, our off-season workout schedule will actually start the Monday after Thanksgiving break. We'll go after school on Monday and Wednesdays. That's a change. We've gone in the morning the past few years. So we're going to go after school, 2:55 to 3:40. It's 45 minutes. That gives them 10 minutes after the bell rings after school to get dressed, meet us up on the indoor track, and we'll get after it. On Fridays, we'll go in the morning from 6:30 to 7:15. Those workouts, the boys it'll be a little bit more of a creative workout. We're going to have some fun with those, a lot of competition involved. So we'll find creative ways to get them moving those Friday mornings. Workouts will always start in the indoor track above the weight room. We'll use the weight room. We'll use the wrestling rooms. We will use the gyms when they're available. We'll go outside if the weather is cooperating. They need to come dressed in athletic shorts, pants, t-shirts, tennis shoes. They won't need any baseball equipment. This is all speed and agility, a little bit of strength training, plyometric work, a lot of core work. We'll do a lot of band work with the shoulders, all baseball related stuff that will get us ready for the spring. The workouts are run by the Blue Valley West coaching staff. They're free and they're open to all students at the school. So I will talk with the students a little bit more about that the first week. We'll get them acclimated to our workouts. If you ever have questions, you can feel free to email me and ask about our workouts. Okay. Before I go on about the tryout info, do know that the main purpose of our workouts is not just to get our kids bigger, faster, and stronger, but it's also to get our kids around each other. I know most of our kids are doing workouts outside of school. I know that they're taking hitting lessons, they're pitching lessons, they're working with their academies, they're working out on their own. But we've always taken pride in making sure that our kids work out together. And that's going to be one of the things that separates us from the other teams, because all the teams that we play and that are in the area are all talented, but we've got to find a way to make our kids gel together. And by doing that, by having them work out together at least once a week, or 2 times a week, it really makes a difference. So please understand that that's one of the things we're going to encourage our players to do, even if they're working out at a different organization. We're going to try to get them there at least once a week so they can work out together. Okay, tryouts. Know that they start February 26th this year, and they run through that Friday, so they're a full week. With that said, and I'll pull that schedule up in just a second. Right now, we have 96 players signed up to try out. And one of the biggest questions I get every year is, how many kids do we keep? What does our program look like? Down here's a breakdown of our programs, what we've done over the last 4 years, give or take a few numbers each direction. But our varsity is made up of 15 to 18 of the top players in the program, from freshman all the way up to senior. So it doesn't matter what grade level they're in. We'll take the top 15 to 18 players and they'll participate in our varsity roster. The JV roster is our best remaining 15 to 18 players that are freshmen, sophomores, or juniors. We have not, and we typically won't have any seniors play varsity, or JV. It'd have to be an extremely weird circumstance or a special circumstance for that to happen. But seniors typically don't play JV. C team is the best remaining freshmen, sophomores that are not on JV or varsity, 15 to 18 players there. And then our D team is freshman players that are not on one of the top 3 teams above. And we typically keep a little bit more players. We're closer to that 18 mark, but 15 to 18 players there. So that's the breakdown of our teams. We have 5 coaches this year, a head coach for each program, and then for each team. And then we have Coach Ashton, who is our pitching coach. So that is the breakdown of our teams. With that said, I'm going to stop share for just a second. I'm going to pull up this tryout schedule so you can see it. And I will email this to you, and players, I'll share it with you via text. With that said, I'll make this a little bit larger. You'll notice that it's real similar to last year's schedule for those of you that are returning. I'm not going to spend a ton of time talking about it, but I do want to make sure that you understand that the mornings will be utilized on Monday and Wednesday, mainly for our pin sessions for our seniors and freshmen on Monday. Then on Wednesday, we will get the split times for our players. They're home to first, their first to second times, and then their 20s and potentially 60s that morning as well. Depends on the weather. Rates. Everything else is after school. If we are outside, it'll be right after school, 2 different sessions. It'll be split. If we are inside, notice that we go later in the day due to basketball still having practice during that week. So, last year we were blessed with 4 great days of tryouts. Got outside for all 4 days, but just notice that it's going to be a busy week. We lean on the parents heavily and the players that transport themselves to help out and to, work together to make sure we can get them on the field as much as possible for their evaluations. On Friday, we sit all the players down. We talk to them about whether or not they made the team, what their, potential roles may be. And then we move forward. So it's a short, compact tryout session, but it's the best we can do with the short spring season as far as the tryout and evals go. So I'm going to get back on track here. If you have questions about tryouts, we'll talk a little bit more in depth on those when we meet in February before the actual tryout session starts. Okay, back to the PowerPoint presentation. Okay, moving on to community service. Now, please note that community service is not mandatory. These winter workouts are not mandatory. Players can do absolutely nothing in the wintertime and still try out and still have an opportunity to make the team. So all this stuff is voluntary. It's not mandatory, but it's just stuff that we encourage the players to do. One, not only to put themselves in a good position to make the team, but also to better themselves as leaders in the building. So with community service, please note, we encourage our players to get somewhat around 10 voluntary hours between now and the season starts. It helps them to develop themselves as servant leaders. Most parents, most students are building a resume for college that come through our school, and they need the community service hours anyways. So we're doing our part to help encourage them, or at least provide the opportunity for them to do that. Some of the ways that they can earn community service just listed at the bottom. Obviously, it's not limited to this stuff, but tutoring, volunteering at church, local nursing homes, VFW, Community Center, United Way, Red Cross, the Y, et cetera. Working with younger athletes via lessons, officiating, helping coach, et cetera. Community service projects such as snow removal, yard work, raking leaves, Habitat for Humanity, those type of things. Donations to organizations such as Children's Mercy, Toys for Tots, and Harvesters, et cetera. With that said, we opened up our Children's Mercy virtual toy drive today. I sent that info out via Twitter and Facebook. I will get it emailed out to you guys as well. There's the link there at the bottom. First 2 years at West, we did Toys for Tots, donated toys directly to the Marines, and they came and picked them up and talked to the boys. It was a great deal. Last 2 years with COVID and everything that's happened with that, Children's Mercy switched things over to virtual. So basically it's easy for us just to make a donation, and then they go out and buy the things that the kids put on their list for them. So the lady came out and talked with the boys last year, the rep from Children's Mercy. It was a great experience. With the number of boys that we have trying out and participate in our program, if we just donate $10, $15, then we'll reach that goal. So appreciate your help with that. Once again, this is all voluntary. Does not give them any credit towards making the team or not making the team. It's just something that means a lot to me from where I come from with my background as a child, and being one of those kids that relied on stuff like this when I was a kid. So please note that this is just another opportunity. I do get the question, does the donations count as an hour towards their community service? Any donation they make, we give them an hour credit towards their 10 as needed. So questions on that, you can email me. Okay, communication. I'm gonna let you look at that for just a second while I gather my voice back here. Excuse me. There's all of our coaches and their email addresses. As I mentioned, I'll share this presentation with you. Those email addresses are also on our website. The best way to contact me is via email or text message. So email me, text me anytime you need something. Please know that if I don't get back to you within a day, that I missed it. So email me again. It doesn't offend me at all. Just I get some days I get a lot of emails, some days I don't get very many. So like tonight and tomorrow, I'll get a bunch of emails, and I'll do my best to get back to you as soon as possible with your answers. So went over the coaches' details earlier. They're listed there if you have individual questions for them. Websites, we have our BlueValleyWestBaseball.com. The school website's BBWJags.com. That's where you'll find your paperwork link, which I'll show you here in a second. Our social media links, we have a Twitter page. There's the handle right there, and then Facebook. Excuse me. Okay. Next page. Your contact info and questions. If you would like any email addresses added to the distro list, just email me after this is over, or text me your email address. Email is the best way, but if you want to text, that's fine. And then I will get it added to the list. And you'll get occasional emails during the wintertime with updates. Once we get closer to the season, the parents that have been a part of the program know you get emails all the time. So I'll be emailing you a ton. If for some reason you're not receiving the information, please contact me immediately so I can get that fixed, so that you're getting all the information. Once again, there's my email address. If you have any questions from tonight, please just email me those questions. 1 question, 15 questions. They're all I will get back to you with answers to those as soon as possible. Okay, so miscellaneous stuff. T-shirt, hoodie orders. Those of you that ordered T-shirts and hoodies, I'll have those ready to go tomorrow morning. Kids can pick those up between 7:15 and 7:40 in the PE locker room. I'll put another order together for you guys in January that want to order some sweats and T-shirts. During the season, the Booster Club puts together a spirit order for the families of the kids that made the team that are on the roster. So there'll be another one then as well. If you purchase anything in the fall, in the winter, or before the season starts, please know we did a decent job of getting refunds for that stuff last year. This year, we're just going to let you buy it. If for some reason your player does not make the team, we will not be able to do refunds for that apparel this year. So purchasing gear does not guarantee you a spot on the team or your player a spot on the team. If you have questions about that, email me. It's all as an extended courtesy for the kids in the off season. Moving forward, our Jaguar Youth Baseball Club. If you have a youth player in the district and you'd like for them to join, we'd love for them to join that. The information's on our team website. We also have a youth winter indoor league that starts in January that runs for 6 weeks. Information's also on our website for that. We're already up to about 8 or 9 teams, so that'll be another fun season with that. Our youth club's up to about 85 kids right now. So thanks to your help and your players' help, and then some success in our program, the youth players in our district have really jumped on. They got on board, and we're getting bigger. So it's been a lot of fun meeting a lot of the younger players. Congratulations to our recent college commits. We had a signing last week or the week before, not only just with baseball but with football. So we're proud of those guys, and we expect a couple more of those guys to make their decisions in the next few months. Player meetings. I'll be calling in the players, starting with the seniors in December. I'll sit down and talk with each player about how things are going, how the off season is going, and answer any questions that they have, just to get familiar with them, and just so that the first time we talk isn't that first week of March. With that said, want to wish everybody a great holiday break with your family. It's going to be interesting having a full week this year, but I definitely am looking forward to it. Family time is extremely important. I do encourage you to spend, at least 1 or 2 days during this break just with your family. I know I'm going to. It's nothing like it. So I'll finish with one saying I appreciate you too. We're proud of all the effort and everything that your players do for us. Super excited. It's 2023 now, so we've got to start working towards our goals for 2023. We have a great group of kids coming back. I got a great group of coaches that are ready to start working for you and for them. And with all that said, I'm super stoked. I'm excited. If you have any questions or need to get any email addresses added to that list, let me know. Otherwise, take care. Have a great night, and look forward to seeing you guys.
Hey, Coach, will you be able to show me the site, the school site where I can
Yes.
be on?
Okay, school website is here. And it's bbwestjags.com. And if you come over here to the More tab, you can click the paperwork packet link right here. Are you able to see that?
Yes, I can. Yeah, sure. Yeah. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Coach.
You're welcome.